Hi everyone, we are on week number 4 looking at the fruit of the Spirit in Galatians 5, which means love, joy, peace, patience. Oh, otherwise known as that one that I'm not really good at. So when we think of patience, I think probably the first thing that comes to mind is this idea of waiting, of taking things slowly. And when I hear the word patience, the first thing that comes to my mind is the scene from an old movie called Evan Almighty, where this guy called Evan, played by Steve Carell, meets up with God, played by Morgan Freeman, and they're having this conversation. And Morgan Freeman turns to him and he says, if you ask God for patience, God doesn't miraculously just give you patience, but rather he will give you a situation that requires you to be patient. So he'll put you in a space where if you get through that space well, you start to develop patience. And so that's been a thing that I've always thought of, that little scene. It goes on bigger than that, but that's the part that I remember. Instead of, like, if we're asking God for patience, he's going to give us opportunities to build our patience. So maybe we will get sick. Maybe we'll get caught in a long line of traffic. Maybe we will find work that's really frustrating or whatever it is. And so, yeah, be careful when you pray for patience. But patience is a good thing. If you can think of someone you know who's really impatient, what are things that come to mind? Probably anger, frustration, irritation, and sure, places and spaces where patience versus impatience come to mind are kind of like traffic. People get really impatient. You get things like road rage, and they can get quite hectic. Or you have people that are very chilled, and when they get caught in traffic, it's an opportunity to listen to a song. It's an opportunity to have a conversation with the person you're with. And so I think with patience, a lot of it is your mindset and your perspective. So just like we spoke about happiness being, or joy, happiness is situation dependent. Joy you can have regardless. I think patience, there's that idea of the same thing. It's not a situation that makes you patient or impatient, but it's how you choose to respond to the situation. So that idea of being in traffic, that idea of standing in a line at the shopping center. Like for me, I often take that as a time to actually just slow down and breathe and people watch and just be slow, because life can be really busy, and the moment I've paid for my stuff, I'm going to be rushing off to the next thing, and then there's going to be a thing and a thing and a thing. And so there's a moment when I'm caught in a queue, just breathe. Take it as a gift. It's an opportunity to be patient and to just chill. I think that is what I think. This other weird thought and memory that comes to mind, when I was a child growing up, we used to have this Christian series called Salty, the singing songbook, and actually I don't think it was from that. I think it was from this thing called The Music Machine, which may be in a similar series. But I remember I was in a play once, and I was a snail, and I had the song Patience, and it went something like this. Have patience, don't be in such a hurry. When you get impatient, you only start to worry. Remember that God is patient too, and think of all the times when he has had to wait for you. So, very silly song, but just a reminder of kind of patience on the inverse, so waiting for other people. I wrote a blog post about this the other day, actually. Something that makes me really mad is when people cut in traffic. So you waiting to turn left and somebody will be in the right lane. They'll just like kind of scream past 10, 15 cars and then push in. And basically what the mindset is for that person is, my time is more important than everyone here that's decided to do things right. Everyone that's standing in the line, I'm more important than them, and so I get to push in. And that is a very kind of destructive mentality. And so I think being impatient in a small thing like traffic or a line or whatever, I think that flaw in your character will show out in other spaces. And so when I look at people that I want to be leaders in any context that I'm in, somebody who pushes into the line for lunch, I think, if you're prepared to kind of show impatience in a small area, then when it's a big area where I need you to be patient, I need you to be a good leader, I need you to have character, you are very likely to not do that as well. So I just want to encourage you, find patience in the small areas. It's a choice of how we respond to things. It's about being peaceful. It's about being gentle and just chilled. And just work on it. It's something that we can decide. What are those? Maybe think about the decisions, or think about the spaces where you tend to get impatient. What are those places? Is it impatient with your parents? Is it impatient at school? And set yourself a goal of trying. I'm going to try get through today, and be patient. And in those moments where that normally you get hit with impatience, think of something like counting to 10, like looking around and people watching, like just breathing in and just enjoying the moment, and choosing, instead of getting angry and frustrated and irritated, just choose to be joyful. Choose to find a reason to smile, and maybe make things great for someone else as well. So I hope that was helpful in terms of looking at patience, fruit of the Spirit.